I give them my all. I push through the pain. I would pass the falls. I will never give up on my sister, my team. One heart, one body, one goal, one dream. I give them my word and our passion creed. To protect, to build, to succeed. We believe, we believe, we believe. Passion pride on 3, 1, 2, 3. Woo!
When we heard about tryouts, I did, research on the internet, which was fairly new back then, so date myself, but really research out other teams. And it was really New York and Dallas that had, the league was so small. So as far as forming a team in Pittsburgh, I believe the initial owners that created it had, they saw the vision of it and started something great. I mean, the brand of the Pittsburgh Passion. And, from tryouts on, the brand grew right from the beginning. We started out with, I think, 20 to 30 teams, and there's 62 teams now in the league. There were competing leagues, the IWFL and WFA, and now it's really merged into one league, which is the WFA. So 62 teams coast to coast. Although large city markets is pretty comparable to NFL football. We do have more teams because there's Columbus, Cincinnati, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. There's more teams within the states too, that are smaller. Out of the 62 teams, there's a bulk 20 to 30 that are highly competitive because they've been around 10 plus years. And it takes time to develop your brand and your team and whatnot.
And that's mostly T-Con. She has built the foundation for this team and built the foundation for women's football in general. People across the country know who the Pittsburgh Passion is. There can be 17 teams in California. They don't know the other 16, but they'll know who we are. We play in international games, a couple of us. And there's people from the UK and from Japan that are like, oh my God, you're the Pittsburgh Passion people. This is awesome. I remember hearing about you or watching you. We have the biggest fan base out of anybody in the world. And it's mostly because of T-Con. She just has created such a great, I don't know, everything for women's football. I don't even know how to put it into words sometimes.
But at the end of the day, I mean, we're all doing this for a bigger purpose, and I think everybody's in understanding that, even though we might not see it now, we're going to see it in 5, 10, 15 years. And I think that's something that drives Teresa. I mean, when you just see it in her eyes on how hard she works year after year for everything, for all of us, she's just, to me, the face of women's tackle football. She always has been, and, I've appreciated everything that she's done for the sport. I mean, I would hope that one day she just gets honored by the NFL Hall of Fame for all of the work that she's done, because I can't even begin to start all the things that I've seen in my short 5 years with the team. But, she's just a huge part of the sport, and I really hope it grows for her and for everybody else.
2014 was just, we came in right away with the vision, and very similar this year, but we knew we had the athletes. We knew we've had a year or 2 years under our belt with the same system. So we just added to that. So, to jump in with a new coach and new system and to win a championship is very rare. 2014, it took time to get to that. So those 2 seasons, we had the same coaching staff, and that really helped because we already had built a relationship and we were working hard for each other. And we trained from the beginning, back in the fall. So those back-to-back championships were really special. We maintained a lot of the same girls. We had Tara Catone came in, running back came in 2015. So it was nice to see even a rookie come in, and we just blended that. And it came down to leadership and just already have a comfort level and expectation of we knew what we wanted to do that season. And then 16, we had a great season. We went into the WFA. So we had some tough games, but even that year was I think from that season to this season, last year was a character building year. We had some vets retire and we had some turnover, so I think that was adjustment. We lost some coaches, so there's a little adjustment there that you do what you can to put everything you can together and learn from the losses that we had. So, and we play some of those same teams this year, so that makes it nice. We have another chance.
We want what we call it a three-peat. Like, nobody's done it. Nobody has three-peated. We've had a couple teams that have gone back-to-back, so it's like, okay, we made it to the whole back-to-back category. Now, like, we want a three-peat. And we did. We had all the belief in the world, and, like, that's what carried us to where we were. And it's unfortunate that we didn't end up winning the championship, but if anything, I felt it brought us closer and made us more hungry for one this year. Like, whether we three-peat or not, it's like we just want to do it again for that feeling.
I can't tell you how excited I am to play with the rookies. I think that they've been sponges, absolute sponges. You know, when we played in our Baltimore scrimmage, they were just, I just felt so comfortable with them. I felt so confident in them. I would look over and see how hard somebody was working, and it just made me want to work even harder, you know, to get a sack or to get a touchdown. I mean, to me, that stuff just really amps me up, and I feed off of everybody else's energy when they succeed. And even when they make a mistake, like, I just have the confidence that they'll just get back up on the second rep and do it even harder.
I think when they're given their opportunity to go in the game, they're ready and ready to shine. I think being a rookie, though, there's games you're going to have to get over as far as the nerves and just everything else going on. To control that, to play at like your highest level, and I've seen it with some of the rookies that they still have the nerves, and you know that's going to be there. I mean, my first game, I was still trying to figure out what hole was, you know, a 32 dive, like in my head as a quarterback. So I mean, those are nervous things that you are real, that you have to get through, and then once you get those out of the way.
This is my first season with the Pittsburgh Passion, but I've played with another team for 8 years. So, you know, I guess I'm pretty tenured as a vet. But, yeah, it's going well. Enjoying it. Coach Khan's the best, I mean, hands down. So it's good when you play for the best coach and the best coaching staff. I always felt like great teammates, and everybody's just really motivated and ambitious when it comes to our goals for this season. So, you know, whenever you have that, you just feel like you're put in a situation for success.
And then we'll rotate.
Cool. Let's go 7. All right.
What's that?
You want me to roll
Here
with
we
this
go.
one?
You got 2 more on D, and then we'll rotate, okay?
I mean, we do throw it from pocket.
You can
so
throw
we
it from
know.
the pocket, but now let's
Air.
go get it.
Okay.
Right? Put it in the garbage
You got
can.
it. All right.
Okay?
Down. Set. Hot.
Put it in the garbage. 1, 2. Put it up.
I do think some of the younger players that have now become vets overnight, where, you know, Angela Baker or Goose, that they've been around for, you know, 4, 5, 6 years, but may not have necessarily been in a leadership role. They're just really good athletes. But this year now you can see the leadership growth that they're taking on, roles of bringing people together and going over some drills or going over technique. And in some cases coaching, you know, positions when we may not have a coach right now. And, you know, Angela Baker does a good job with that. I've seen Janice coach some of the girls across the board.
In the last year or 2, I felt more like I can be that role model and that good influence. I'll be honest, I started playing when I was 19 years old. I was a hothead. I played high school sports. I was that jock that played everything and was good at everything. So when I came here, I was little man on the totem pole again. I was playing with 3 Team USA players who won a gold medal all together. I was playing with people who'd been playing football since they were 8. I was nothing. I learned really quickly, so then I did a lot of learning, and then in the last 2 years, T's kind of just been you have the knowledge, share it. And last year I really got to, and one of the players this year has even told me, she's like, I learned a lot from you, and the reason I'm even half decent is because you believed in me and never stopped working with me. To hear it from grown adults who came from similar backgrounds as I did, or better backgrounds than I did, knowing that I can make a difference in their life or influence them or help them believe, it's been a really rich feeling that I never really knew as an adult.
but it's just so funny because you just can't seem to get away from it. I mean, when you look at Sully, who's been here for 15 years, and Janice, who's been here for like almost 11 years, and Kara and Zubo and even T, like it's just something that brings people a sense of life and family. And you know, every person that comes and starts with us, whether they stay with us or not, like they're affected by us in some way, and always, I would hope, a great way.
You know, it's such a family atmosphere. I can't really explain it, especially having played for other teams, other organizations, and played growing up. When you're around a family environment where truly everyone just kind of puts their arm around you and lifts you up, it's just unique. It's different, and it's cool to be a part of. I was just telling Coach Santoro a little while ago that when I was 14, I went to see the Pittsburgh Passion play. My family was living in Maine at the time, and I had volunteered to help out with the Maine Freeze was the team. And they said, hey, you know, we're short a few people. Can you go hold the chains for the chain gang? So I was on the sideline with the Pittsburgh Passion when I was 14 years old. And I was, of course, like I said, I was playing in high school, played in middle school and all that. And Lisa Horton comes up to me and just says, hey, what's going on? I was like, hey, what's up? She's like, you gonna play when you get a little older? And I was like, yeah. So it's just kind of funny. I've told Lisa that story, and a couple of my teammates know that story. Coach Kahn knows that story. Yeah, it's kind of funny when you look back on it and you think like someone that I once looked up to is my teammate right now.
Touchdown! I dream of that move. I did a bunch of them last night.
One of the goats of football, women's football at least. She's been around for what, like 15, 16 years now. So it's like learning from one of the greatest that I would have watched growing up is kind of cool to be able to play on the same field as her. I know people like across the country get ecstatic to meet her. They're like, oh my God, you're Lisa Horton. I'm like, she's been my teammate for the last 6 years, so this is old news. But no, I love it. There's no better feeling than like learning from the best of the best.
And that's something that's so special to me after a game, is the fact that all the fans get to come down and meet all of us on the field. Something that a lot of other teams don't, you know, they don't get that opportunity. I'll never forget this girl came up to me, and I only played half the game my first year, it was my rookie year. And she came up to me with the program, and she was like, I saw you make such a cool tackle, and I just want to say 20 is my favorite number, and can I get your autograph? And I was just like, like so cute and so precious. But then, you know, those are the types of moments that just remind you that you got to keep working hard and you got to keep doing what you're doing. And that's why a championship is a little more important to me individually. It's not about just getting another title, it's about what comes with it.
There's no better feeling than like, that's part of why I love what we do. After the games, at professional games, you have to like buy special passes or know somebody to like meet the players. With us, it's like, cool, game's over, we won, we lost, come over here. And like, we have kids just running out to us, and I have little girls that come up to me and ask me for my autograph, and I'm like, you don't know me compared to the person next to you, but the fact that I'm out here doing something, and then I hear little girls that are like, I want to be like you when I grow up. I'm like, huh. Because like I play a sport that they didn't know that they could do, and you know, people ask me, my mom even asked me, like, it's a hobby, why do you pay if it's, you don't get paid for it, or if it's not going to get you noticed, or like it's not like a college sport where you're getting anything for it. I'm like, it's for the people below me, like the little kids. If I have a daughter someday, I hope that she can play high school ball if she decides to. If she wants to cheerlead for them, go ahead, but like if you want to play with the boys, there should be nothing stopping them.
And it just came together. It was like magic. From there, we pretty much wrap up practice with it, and we start games with it, and end games with it. And I think it's something special, that you'll never forget, and something you'll have the rest of your life, whether you're with the team here or you're moving on. So.
Yeah, I'd heard it from the outside a few times, and I didn't really know what it was until I got in there and I was listening to Angela Baker and Lisa Horton when they were saying it. And the thing that it always just kind of reminds me of is that no matter what, we've all got each other's back, and that we're all going to stand by one another once again throughout the highs and the lows.
Like everybody does like the break on three, or you have like your couple words, but like when you have an entire saying that just like empowers everybody and like just has everything you stand for, it's just such a good feeling. Like we pray beforehand, and like that was always a good chill factor, but then when we started the creed, I was like, yeah, nothing beats this ever. Nothing. I